I stood in the hotel hallway holding a bouquet of roses like an idiot. Room 512. That's what her location said. She'd been posting photos all weekend. Girls' trip, much-needed relaxation with her friends Jen and Katie. Cocktails by the pool, matching pajamas, the whole charade. But something felt wrong. The backgrounds looked generic. The laughter looked rehearsed. So I did something I swore I'd never do. I checked her phone location, and it led me here, the Harbor View Inn, 3 hours from home. I wanted to surprise her, show up with flowers, maybe prove to myself I was losing my mind over nothing. I knocked on room 512. Footsteps. The lock turned. The door swung open. A man stood there, early 40s, expensive watch, hotel robe half open. He stared at me, then at the flowers. The color drained from his face. "You must have the wrong room," he said, but his voice cracked. Behind him, I heard movement, then a woman's laugh. "Honey, is that the champagne?" That voice. My wife's voice. The man started closing the door. I put my hand against it. "Tell Melissa her husband's here." His expression shattered. Then I heard it, another voice, also female, also familiar. "Wait, did someone say husband?" The door opened wider, and there stood my wife in a silk robe, wine glass in hand, frozen mid-step. But she wasn't alone. Behind her, wrapped in a matching robe, was her best friend Katie. Both of them, together. With him, the flowers hit the floor. If you want to know what I discovered in the next 60 seconds, and why this wasn't just an affair, but something far more twisted, hit subscribe, because what I uncovered destroyed 3 marriages, not just mine. My name is Derek Matthews. I'm 42 years old, and until 4 days ago, I thought I understood my marriage. 17 years, 1 daughter, a craftsman home in Portland, Oregon. I'm a project manager for a tech company. Decent salary, good benefits, the American dream on paper. Melissa was a corporate event planner, the kind of woman who can schmooze with CEOs and make it look effortless. We met at a mutual friend's wedding, married at 26, built what I thought was a partnership. The red flags started subtly. They always do, don't they? About 8 months ago, Melissa joined this women's empowerment group. Monthly retreats, she called them. Self-care weekends with her closest friends. "I need this, Derek," she'd said. "I've lost myself in being just a wife and mom. I need to reconnect with who I am." I supported it. Hell, I encouraged it. "You deserve time for yourself," I told her. "Go. Recharge." That was my first mistake, thinking support meant turning a blind eye. The first retreat was to wine country. Her and her friends Jen and Katie from college. She came back glowing, lighter somehow. I thought it was working. Then there was another trip, and another. Every 6 weeks like clockwork. Girls' weekend. Self-care retreat. I never questioned it. Why would I? Until last Tuesday. I was cleaning out the garage when I found it, tucked inside a box of old photos she'd asked me to store. A burner phone. Cheap flip phone, the kind you see in spy movies. My stomach twisted. I turned it on. The battery was dead, so I charged it in my workshop where she wouldn't see. 3 hours later, I opened it. 27 text messages, all from a contact saved as H. The messages made my blood run cold. "Can't wait for this weekend. I've told Mark I'm at a conference. Same room as last time, the one with the balcony. She's bringing Kay again. You know how I feel about that." The person texting wasn't a man, it was a woman. Another woman named H talking about my wife bringing Kay. Katie. I scrolled further back. Months of messages. Detailed plans. Hotel reservations. Photos I couldn't unsee. This wasn't an affair. This was something else entirely. Something organized, ongoing, involving multiple people. My hand shook as I screenshotted everything to my phone. Then I saw it. A message from 3 days ago. Harbor View Inn, room 512. Friday to Sunday. M is telling Derek it's the empowerment retreat. "You're clear." The response. "Mark thinks I'm at my sister's. We're good." Friday morning, Melissa kissed me goodbye. Empowerment weekend with the girls. Jen's driving. "We're heading to that retreat center near Seattle. Have fun," I said, my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. "Love you." "Love you too," she said. She left. I waited 30 minutes. Then I check her location. Harbor View Inn, not Seattle. not a retreat center. The same hotel from the burner phone. I sat at my kitchen table staring at that blue dot for 2 hours. My mind raced through scenarios, each worse than the last. Part of me wanted to be wrong. Part of me knew I wasn't. I called my brother. Can you pick up Sophie from school today? Something came up. Everything okay? No, I said, but it will be. I grabbed my keys and drove. 3 hours of interstate, my knuckles white on the steering wheel, my mind replaying every lie, every girl's weekend, every time she come home smelling like expensive hotel soap and told me about yoga classes and empowerment workshops. The harbor view and sat on a cliff overlooking the Pacific. Boutique hotel, the kind with a valet and infinity pool. I parked, walked into the lobby, and headed straight for the elevators. The desk clerk called after me. Sir, are you a guest? I kept walking. 5th floor, room 512. I stood outside that door for a full minute. My heart hammered. Whatever was behind that door would either confirm my paranoia or end my marriage. Probably both. I knocked. Footsteps. The lock clicked. A man opened the door, tall, salt and pepper hair, expensive cologne. He looked at me, looked at the flowers in my hand. Recognition flickered across his face, then dread. You must have the wrong room. Room 512. I asked. He nodded slowly. Tell Melissa her husband's here. His face went white. Behind him, I heard Melissa laugh. Honey, is that the champagne? Then another voice, Katie's voice. Wait, did someone say husband? The man stepped aside. I walked in. Melissa stood in the center of the room wearing a black silk robe, wine glass frozen halfway to her lips. Katie sat on the bed in a matching robe, her expression morphing from confusion to horror. On the nightstand sat 2 bottles of champagne for glasses and a bottle of massage oil for glasses. Derek, Melissa whispered. The wine glass slipped from her hand, red liquid spreading across the white carpet like blood. Who's Derek? Katie asked, her voice small. The man cleared his throat. I'm Mark, Katie's husband. The room went silent. Katie's face drained of color. Mark? Where are you? You're supposed to be in Chicago. Conference got canceled, Mark said, his voice hollow. Katie told me she was at her sister's in Spokane. Imagine my surprise when I tracked her phone here. He looked at me. You must be Melissa's husband. I nodded, unable to speak. So, Mark continued, his voice eerily calm. It appears our wives have been running some kind of operation. Katie started crying. Melissa just stared at me, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. There's someone else, I said, finding my voice. The burner phone. Someone named H. Who is she? Melissa's eyes widened. Who is SHE? I shouted. The bathroom door opened. Steam poured out. A woman emerged in a towel, blonde hair wet. She saw us and froze. Oh God, Heather, Mark said, his voice breaking. What? You're my assistant. You said you had the flu. Heather, Mark's assistant, apparently, wrapped the towel tighter around herself. Mark, I can explain. You're all sleeping together? I asked, the pieces clicking into place with sickening clarity. This whole time, the 3 of you, for Melissa whispered. What? She pointed to the bathroom. Another woman emerged, younger, early 30s. She saw the scene and immediately tried to retreat, but Mark grabbed the door. And who the hell are you? I'm Jen, she stammered. I didn't know anyone was married. They said they were all single. The room erupted, Katie sobbing, insisting she loved Mark, that this was just exploration. Heather grabbing her clothes, swearing she'd quit, that she never wanted this. Jen backing toward the door, claiming she'd been lied to. And Melissa, my wife of 17 years, standing in the center of it all, silent tears streaming down her face. I looked at Mark. Did you know? Not until an hour ago, he said. I confronted Katie in the lobby. She broke down, said Melissa organized everything, called it a freedom circle, said they deserved to explore without judgment. A freedom circle, I repeated. The absurdity of it hit me. Not just an affair. An organized group, planned over months, funded by lies. How long? I asked Melissa. She wouldn't look at me. 8 months, Katie answered for her. Since the empowerment group started, it wasn't real. Melissa created it as cover. 8 months, 2/3 of a year, every retreat, Every girl's weekend. Every empowerment workshop. All eyes. Did you ever love me? I asked Melissa. She finally looked up. I do love you, Derek. This wasn't about you. Then what was it about? I don't know, she screamed. I don't know. I just felt invisible, like I was disappearing into being your wife and Sophie's mom. And I needed something that was just mine. So you built a secret life? I said quietly. You created an entire fictional organization, recruited our friends, pulled in strangers, all while I was at home with our daughter, thinking you were finding yourself. She reached for me. I stepped back. Don't. I looked at the flowers on the floor, crushed and forgotten. I bought these for you. Drove 3 hours because I thought maybe we could spend the evening together. Maybe reconnect. My voice cracked. I thought I was being a good husband. You are, she sobbed. This isn't your fault. Then whose fault is it, Melissa? She had no answer. I turned to leave. Mark followed. What are you going to do? He asked in the hallway. Lawyer, I said. You? Same. We stood there, two men who'd loved women who'd built entire alternate realities. I'm sorry, he said. Me too. The divorce took 6 months. Melissa tried everything. Counseling, promises, tears. I refused. My lawyer was clear. Adultery, multiple partners, evidence of deception. In Oregon, that mattered. I got primary custody of Sophie. Melissa got supervised weekends until she could prove stability. I kept the house. She took her car and a fraction of the savings. No alimony. Not after what she'd done. Katie and Mark divorced too. Their marriage ended even faster. No kids, just assets to split, and a betrayal neither could overcome. Heather lost her job. Jen disappeared from social media entirely. 1 year later, I'm okay. Not perfect, not healed completely, but okay. Sophie adjusted better than I expected. Kids are resilient. I started therapy, joined a divorced dad's support group, learned to cook more than 3 meals. I even went on a date, coffee with a woman from my gym. Nothing serious, but a start. Last week, Sophie asked me, Dad, are you happy? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I'm getting there, sweetheart. Good, she said. You deserve to be happy. I pulled her into a hug. So do you, baby. So do you. Here's what I learned. Some betrayals are so calculated, so elaborate, that they reveal someone you never truly knew. The woman I married wasn't who I thought she was. Maybe she never was. I'll never forget standing in that hotel hallway, watching my marriage implode along with 2 others, realizing the woman I'd trusted had built an empire of lies. But I also won't forget what came after, the strength I found, the father I became, the life I rebuilt from ashes. Melissa made her choice. I made mine. My choice was to walk away with my dignity and my daughter, to build something real from the wreckage. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever discovered the person you loved was a stranger, if you've had to explain to your child why some promises get broken, this one's for you. Hit subscribe for more real stories about real life. Comment, I walked away, if this resonated. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is leave. And sometimes leaving is how you save yourself.